I was down at the pickleball courts last night and I was setting up a new camera system for a new venture that I'm launching within the pickleball niche. And I get there, it's probably like 6 o'clock. There's about 18, 20 people on the courts. It's obviously popular. Don't know if you're into the pickleball fever yet, but if you see it, it's popular and there's always people around. So I pull up, I'm in the Subandu, reverse in, and I pull out all of the gear for this new rig. It's homemade. It's been featured in another video. You may have seen it. It's made out of dimensional lumber, and it definitely looks different to normal. So I pull it out the back. I start setting it up. I'm bolting it in and checking it out, and I can tell that other people are looking and they're observing, because it's kind of like, what's this guy doing? What's he got over there? And a couple of people walk past, and I can see them like eyeing it up. And this triggers a part of the ego to think that they're thinking about what you're doing. They may or may not be, but at least in the perception, they are thinking and looking. And I know this to be true because the people that I was with start to feel it too, where they start to feel like a little bit awkward because people are looking, maybe judging, maybe they have a thought about what you're doing. So it is a real phenomenon, and maybe you've experienced this before, where you're doing something, or even the idea of doing something that is outside of the norm, outside of the box, and it makes you feel a little bit nervous, a little bit worried, because it's like, what are people going to think about what it is that I'm doing? Like, are they going to think I'm crazy? So I've had this before in many different aspects, many different experiences in life, so this wasn't new to me. And I'm just carrying on. I'm just doing my thing, because it's necessary to face this emotion, process it, and be able to act in spite of it if you want to pursue the things that are truly on your heart and pursue the things that are outside of the box of what you were given, because they should be different to what everybody else is doing, unless you somehow are like everybody else. And when you come out of your box and you start to be the authentic version of you, if somehow that is like everybody else, it wouldn't rock the boat. But that's likely very rare. It's actually more likely that the thoughts, ideas, and really what's on your heart is going to be different to everybody else. So when you actually act on that, you are going to stand out. You are going to look different. So we have to learn how to process the emotion of like other people potentially judging what you're doing, if you actually want to do it, and if you want to do it consistently. So I've got 2 ways that I do this that I want to share with you, and then you can use these when you're out there doing whatever it is that you're doing to get it done. So firstly, I have a reframing technique where I reframe their potential judgment into their potential excitement. So yesterday, when I can see people looking over and like this camera arm is swinging up, it's like 7 feet, should be 10 feet, that's another story, should be about 10 feet in the air, but it was 7 feet last night. It's a big full size camera, full lens, and I can see people looking. So in my head, I have the option to perceive that as like they're judging me, thinking, oh, this guy's, what's he doing? Oh, he's crazy. Or I see it as they're excited about what I'm doing because I'm doing something different. And I hold that belief to be true, because why not? I don't know if they're actually judging me. I don't know if they're actually excited, so I might as well believe that they are excited. And if I hold that belief, what I've noticed in doing this in other ventures when I've done other things, it is that they are often excited. They don't always have to be judging you. They don't always have to be thinking that you're crazy. So I reframe it that way, and it empowers me to be like, oh, they're excited, let's get going, let's get moving and grooving. And it opens up the door for them to come and interact with the activity that I'm doing. So that's the first way. And I would say that comes from a relatively feminine energy, maybe. It's kind of like open, it's accepting, it's a reframe, and it works. And I'll really, really recommend trying that. And you can use that in various different containers. It doesn't have to just necessarily be new ventures. You can do that for stage shows. I've done it in lots of different ways. That reframe is very powerful because physiologically, nerves and excitement activate very similar parts of the brain and body. So really, it's only our definition of one or the other that separates them anyway, largely. And you'll hear this from professional athletes, performers. They all talk about that in the same way, so you can use that. The second one is definitely from a potentially more masculine position. It could just be from a different position, but it feels definitely more hard line, and that is to just have a complete fuck you mentality. You want to judge me? Fuck you. And I don't know whether this is the best way. I don't know whether this is the answer, but it definitely gets me through things, through events, and make sure that I keep showing up and keep doing it, because it's like, look, if you're going to judge me, if you're going to cast your high and mighty self and your opinion on what is right and wrong over what I'm doing, then fuck you, you know? I wouldn't probably say that out loud unless somebody came over and was being combative, but that can be a way that I'm thinking to kind of stave off the ego and keep it away, keep that energy that holds me back from taking over me. Because I'm just like, fuck you, man. I'm out my box, you know, I'm doing my thing. I'm doing what's on my heart. It's making me feel good. I'm progressing. I'm moving. I'm grooving. I'm doing what I know I want to be doing in my life experience that's very short and fleeting. So if you're going to judge me, fuck you. You know, you're only judging yourself anyway. And that's why I said this may not be the most optimal approach. I prefer the reframe of excitement to nerves, you know, but this does work. And I think that if you're early in your unboxing process and you're out there doing videos in public, for example, or posting something online or releasing something or doing whatever it is, if you're early in those stages, maybe you don't have the capacity to take the reframe, take that more accepting role. So the fuck you approach is just like, come at me, bro. I'm doing my thing. You want to come and like rock my boat? No chance. And if you can develop that, it does give you this sense of like, just bring it on. And then off the back of that, you can start to act. And that really works. And then the final way that I approach this, I know I said two things, here's a bonus. Have a bonus, because you know how it is, sometimes I get off the clipboard and share what's on my heart. But I remind myself in those moments of the men who have gone before me that have done arguably, and maybe it's all relative, but arguably more daring feats than what it is that I'm doing in that exact moment. And I think about what it must have been like for them. Did they get like the accolades and the immediate support of everybody around them and the immediate investment? Probably not, you know, almost definitely not actually, but yet they got it done, and that's why the world is the way it is. So it reminds me that whilst I am operating outside of the current norm and I'm outside of my box that they tried to put me in, and I'm doing things that are different, ultimately this has been done before. I'm not reinventing the wheel. This is what men have been doing for hundreds of years, and I remind myself of that. So if you combine those three things together in the moment, and if you're struggling to separate from the emotion and you can feel the ego judging, just take a deep breath, man. Take a few deep breaths. Go reset yourself. Remind yourself of those three things, and you will find that you are acting more consistently towards the activities that you actually want to be doing. So go try that out. I hope this has been valuable for you. If it has, please let me know in the comments. And I want to see how this is. I want to see the efficacy of this in your experience. So please share that. If you want to, if you've got something in your head and on your heart that you want to go and do, and you take these three things, the reframe, the kind of fuck you, and then reminding of what other men have done, and it empowers you to actually get past the blocks and go take the activity and do the action, please let me know and the other dudes on this channel, because it's very important that we're refining these solutions to everyday emotional and physical problems to ultimately unbox ourselves, live free, live a life of purpose, and live a life of meaning that is worth something to us. So thank you very much for watching. I really wish you a wonderful rest of your day. I've been Joshua. Much love. Stay free, stay sovereign, and stay blessed. Peace.